Hello, good afternoon, good evening. It's time. Good afternoon, good evening. Thank you, everyone, for joining us live today, wherever you are joining us from. Yes, it's another day. This is the transformation table, and today is going to be another exciting one. So, welcome, everyone that is joining us. Welcome, Dr. Ginga. Welcome, Don Sami. Welcome, and Uze. Welcome, everyone. All right, here we go. We have people joining us on uh, Instagram. We have many people right now coming in on YouTube, on Facebook. We are live on LinkedIn as well. So I want to welcome everybody to this live session today with a leading business leader, social entrepreneur, and a wonderful leadership coach in Nigeria. Today is going to be great because we have a seasoned um, life coach here today that will be doing justice to this wonderful topic that we want to talk about today: how to stay inspired as a leader. And right now we have our wonderful coach already, um, Mr. Olusoji Oyawoye. Is going to be joining us live in a moment. So I want to encourage you to start sharing this live broadcast with everyone that you know. Tag someone on Instagram, share with someone on Facebook. And if you are live on Facebook, I would encourage you to join us live on Instagram if you want to. Okay. Let me share the link. Yes, you have the link right there everywhere. So you can join us on Instagram if you want to. We're also live on YouTube. So before I invite our guests, before our guests join me here live on Instagram, and there is also going to be live on YouTube, on Facebook, I mean, everywhere. Okay. So before we do that, I want to quickly share something that is very important. Okay. Today, remember, we're talking about how to stay inspired as a leader. I always say this, that everyone has the ability to lead. And if you're leading right now in any area of life, you have the ability to become a better leader. All right. But today we want to go into how can you stay inspired. And if you don't understand what it means to lead, today you are going to have that understanding, because I strongly believe in our wonderful guest today is leading in this area. Um, uh, uh, is helping many businesses in Nigeria, helping many lives in Nigeria and globally. So let me invite our guests to join me live in the studio today. Okay. Welcome everybody on Facebook. Welcome on YouTube. I see you. Feel free to share your questions if you have any questions as we go through our conversation today. This is the transformation table. Okay, let me welcome our guest. Here we go. We have you live on right here on YouTube, on Facebook. Okay, so let's also um have you in on Instagram. Okay, here we go. Yes, so here we go. So I know you're gonna come in a little bit. How are you doing today, sir? Good to have you. Here we go. We
Right.
are live. We are live.
Nice to be connected, Wally.
Awesome, awesome. So I think I've muted myself on StreamYard. Let me do this. I'm hearing.
It's likely you have two systems that the audio is still on. The echo is still there.
Yeah. So we have people coming in on Instagram. All right, we're getting started in a moment. Just making sure we have everything. Okay, can you mute there?
We can't hear you now.
Exactly. Here we go. What about now? What about now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Perfect. Perfect. So we're live. Here we go. We're live on YouTube and welcome everyone on Instagram. So we're going to get into it right away. We're glad to have you today, our wonderful guests. We are talking about how to stay inspired as a leader. How to stay inspired as a leader. By the way, can I say this to everyone watching us on Facebook, on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, and also on YouTube? See, I want to start with this statement. I want to start by saying that with the premise that the function of leadership is to produce more leaders. The responsibility of a leader is not to maintain followers, it's not to produce more followers, but to produce more leaders. So, this is why today's topic is very key: how to stay inspired as a leader. And we have some powerful questions for our guests today. And believe me, you're going to get answers to most of your questions today. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions. Okay. So, Mr. Um, Oyawoye, I think we're going to start today with this definition. I mean, what does it mean to be inspired? And why is it really important in our world of today? I mean, why do we need inspiration in our world um, today?
Thank you very much. I feel honored to be on your program, especially with the technology streaming almost on every handle possible. Inspiration to me, basically, it's a feeling, it's an idea. So it's something that comes from within you, and that idea basically encourages you to take action towards a goal. So inspiration ultimately, from the word inspire, encourages you to take action on a goal. And that inspiration usually comes from various sources. One could be inspired by art, one could be inspired by a message or a book you read, or past experiences. If I'll be specific, my leadership, for example, since it's a session on leadership, I've been inspired through the years by my own personal experiences. Many times I find myself either sitting amongst certain people or in certain audiences. I practically pinch myself. It's like, is this you? I mean, knowing my past experiences, my background,
Hmm.
nothing from my past actually presents that I would be someone that will be talking, and people will not only listen, actually get paid to speak and teach. Nothing from my background. So I'm inspired by that fact that if somebody like me can be where I am now and still growing,
Hmm.
that inspiration encourages me to consistently try to inspire other people. And everybody needs to be inspired, really. Again, inspiration comes from within. The reality is we're all are products of what we read, what we hear, what we smell, what we touch, what we feel.
Hmm.
But all of those things are external stimuli. They're external to us. The one that really gives us true lasting value is the insight that comes from within. and it leads to personal growth because you can't give what you don't have. It leads to innovation. You find ways of doing the same thing people do in different ways, and you achieve progress. Then those you inspire also follow you on that journey uh, of execution and goal attainment. So that's what inspiration is to me.
Hmm. Wow. Wow. That's really profound. Internal. And I'm holding to that because I, in our world of today, most people focus on what is on the outside without taking care of what they have on the inside. And
Right.
I also strongly believe, like what you said, that if we're bigger on the inside, we'll become people of inspiration. So that would lead me to our next question. I mean, looking at what it means to be inspired, um, um, why do we need leaders to be the source of inspiration, even in teams and organizations?
Uh, Basically, no individual working alone
Hmm.
can achieve anything of substance. So you can achieve and go a lot further. I think it's an African proverb that says, uh, I can't remember the exact proverb really, but basically, you can't achieve anything acting alone. You need other people. Now, to get other people to follow you on that journey of accomplishment, of creating value and achieving goals, you must be able to inspire them, right? No matter how good your vision is. This echo, I think there's two systems that are on somewhere there. The
Okay.
echo is still a bit too much. You may,
Um,
you know,
can
okay.
you okay, I have
But it's
to.
not from my side. I don't know if there's two systems that are linked up on the same side. It's
Okay.
gone down now. It's
Okay, I
gone
think
down
it's
now.
better now. Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
it's better now.
Yes, let's go ahead.
Right. Uh, so inspirational when you need to achieve and a lot things of that of significance, you need more than you to get that done. And
Hmm,
the only way you can achieve people to come along with you is for you to be able to inspire them such
hmm,
that they actually buy into your vision as if it is their own.
hmm,
Because in that process, you make things happen. In fact, there's no leadership without tombstones to show what you have achieved and executed.
hmm.
And the more people that are on that journey with you, the more you can achieve collectively. So, inspirational leadership helps to build a sense of community. Community gets better, our businesses run better once you have someone who is able to inspire others, basically to get them to buy into that vision, that goal, that objective, and own it as if it is their own. That way, knowing that you can't know everything, you can't do everything, you can't be everywhere at the same time, you would have an army of people working together on that team. That's why it's really critical to have as a leader.
Wow. Wow. You just made me to remember a definition that I, put together in 2020. After studying leadership for more than 10 years and, working with leaders, coaching leaders, and then, training different teams in organization, I did a lot of study and a lot of research, and I came to a conclusion, and I define leadership as the ability and the capacity to inspire people to do what they thought they couldn't do with a sense of purpose
Absolutely.
and vision. You just said something that is very crucial, considering that definition, about inspiration, being the source of inspiration. I mean, you cannot get something big done, achieved without being a source of inspiration. Thank you very much for confirming that definition again,
Yeah,
which is important.
yeah,
So,
it is.
okay, so that would lead us to the next question. We need leaders. Nothing can transform without leadership. Nothing can change without leadership. Nothing can move from point A to point B without leadership. So, why do we need people? Why do we need leaders in families, in organizations, in teams, in nations? Why do we need inspired leaders in our world of today?
Thank you. And I'm glad the last end of your question made the emphasis. It's not just leaders, it
Hmm.
is leaders that are inspired. Because once that leader, that individual that is inspired, has a way of getting people to throw themselves into the vision as if they own it. And that is why it's not being appointed an MD of an organization, or you have been promoted to a group head or a GM, or you've gotten married, so you're now a husband, or had children, you're now a father. That doesn't really make you a leader, right? You become a leader when those who are following you buy again into your vision. And it's a process of heart first, then head before they give you their hand. And you can't get into someone's heart if they are not inspired. So basically, like I said, inspiration comes from within. So it becomes contagious that they themselves get transformed from inside out, and then they own that vision, that family project, that family success, that business success as if it is their own. With all humility, I've been been in a leadership position now for about roughly 25 years, the last 7 years of my banking experience, and now for about 17 years as an entrepreneur. And part of what I have watched happen over time, driving into this style of leadership. By the way, I didn't even understand this years back. It's in recent years, as I begin to read books, that I get to zero in on the fact that, oh, this is why it is inspirational leadership that is on display. Increasingly, people relate with my colleagues sometimes, and they wonder, they work as if they are shareholders, the majority of them, or that they own the business, but they're just employees. So that is the kind of thing you find in a business when you have inspired people and they buy into it almost as if they're working because of you, not because of the organization. That's what inspirational leadership do. It's not to say there are no rough times. Same if it's in a community. If you're an inspired leader in a community, whether a local government, governor, or what have you, people would readily, once they've bought into your leadership and your inspiration, they'll be ready to submit themselves to some level of sacrifice, having understood that this is a process we need to go through for us to arrive at uh, a better future. That is why we need inspired leaders. And unfortunately, statistics show that a great number of leaders do not have those attributes. And nobody is really born with it. Like I said, nothing in my past actually prepared me, indicated that I could get here. It's learning from experience, getting coached and mentored, and learning from those who are inspirational out there. There's nothing new under the sun. And then put into practice the learnings that you get from them. Wow.
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 You just
Said something that I think is important for me to reinstate. Like last week, we had Dr. John Okoro here, and he said he learned three things from one of his mentors. Personal development. I think we're having that. That echo is up again. Something came back on. Okay.
hmm.
Sometimes that's what happens when you want to stream on all hand channels at the same time. Yeah, I think it's better now, right? Yes, it is. Okay, so now this is it. He said he learned personal development, and that really helped him
to become who he is today. He learned mentorship and he also learned strategic relationship. Those three keys helped him to become who he is today and is transforming lives globally. Now, I want us to look into being a source of inspiration as a leader. How can how can someone remain inspired? And what happens if a leader stops inspiring people?
It's dangerous, and first, yes, a leader can stop being an inspiration when the leader, him or herself, stop being inspired. Like I said, you have to declare first where your inspiration is coming from and hold on consistently not to lose that. So if you're inspired by music, inspired by um, arts, inspired by nature, inspired by people, inspired by the challenges of people, or inspired by your experience in life, which is my own inspiration, it's important that you stay glued and constantly in contact with what inspires you so you don't lose your inspiration. For me, for example, that's part of why my media name is SOJ Ludo. One of my greatest inspirations is my origins, where I come from. It's a small town in Iludo in Kwara State, as it is, but then coined with my name Soji, so I have SOJ Iludo. And every year, as often as possible, I go back home. My parents are both late now. There's really no tie, no reason for me to go there, but I can't lose that heritage because part of what it does to me is it keeps me grounded. Whatever level I may assume I have reached or I'm getting to, that kind of contact maintains the inspiration that Soji, this is you, this is where you started from, as it is. So all that they will kill me there or what have you. I mean, at the age that I'm in now, if they want to kill me, I think I feel accomplished already. So you must stay connected with whatever it is that your inspiration is. Now, because if you don't, then you lose it. So a prayer I always pray almost daily also is, God, to please help me remain humble, remove arrogance and pride. Because once those things start to set in, remember my own inspiration comes from my experience and my background. So once I begin to forget that, I would lose that inspiration. I will stop being inspired from within. And ultimately, I can't then inspire anybody. Because what they'll begin to see then is just what they see in most people. Sometimes people, I mean, even you just approach me online that you'd like to have this session. We didn't talk plenty grammar. I didn't say go and talk to my PA or look at your social media handle and see that, I even have more followers than you. So because of that, so those things happen and people begin to then lose their contact to where the inspiration came from, as it is. Now, it's dangerous because once you stop being inspired, right, the danger is whether it's your business or your family, the team morale begins to drop. So things people would normally do as if it is their own business or their family or their community or their nation, they stop losing interest. And then it begins to come back to only what you can make happen. And then the quality of your outputs begin to drop. Now, also, once you stop inspiring, you can't retain good talents. Good talents, one of the things they always strive for most is they want to see that whoever is leading them, they are constantly seeing the person ahead of them in one area or the other. So once you stop being inspired and inspiring others, naturally you can't retain good talent. And if you can't retain good talent, that business begins to drop. And then usually you'll be left with people who are really staying, not because they are great, but either because they have not found something else to go and do yet, or because they're actually the useless part of the team. So it's important that a leader consistently stay true to your source of inspiration. And it's a job you have to do by yourself.
Fantastic, fantastic. I really love how you connected that source of inspiration to your story. Understanding your source of inspiration and helping yourself to stay inspired, because inspiration is first personal before it becomes public, and influence is sourced from inspiration. So thank you very much for connecting those dots. And for all our viewers, if you have any questions in this area as a leader, please feel free to ask your questions. Remember, when you stop inspiring people, like our guest said, then that means you have stopped leading, because you have to stay inspired in order to inspire other people. In fact, let me share this real quick before I ask the next question. We have just probably like a few more minutes to end this live session today. I remember one time I was having a trainee, and then this one of the participants said that he loves to tell people that, hey, I am your leader. I am your leader. He likes to tell people, I'm your leader. Don't you know I am your leader? I mean, let me ask that question real quick. What do you think about that? Especially people love to tell people that, hey, don't you know I'm your leader here?
Once somebody says that, they have actually lost the right to lead. Right. Leadership principally is role modeling. People see you. In fact, people don't hear you. People actually observe, and it is what they see the leader do. That really is the cocoa of inspiration. So, for example, in my office, we don't have an attendance register. I'm co-owner of the business. The business will be 17 years in a few weeks' time. Every day in 17 years, if I'm not the first person in the office, I'll be the first three in the office. I'm MD CEO. Nobody tells me, will ask me if I'm late. Guess what? Nobody comes late. So I don't need to have an attendance register. They're inspired by my work ethics and my values. And I never tell, if I say we have marketing targets, go and bring business. I'm also bringing business. So everything I need anybody to do, I am the first doing it. So they're inspired and sometimes even amazed as it is. So if you need to say it, the moment you say, don't you know I'm the head of this family? Don't you know I am the GM? Once you begin to say those, you actually are none of those. You have lost it. But there's help out there if they're willing to just be guided and be coached through programs like yours, which I follow since I got to meet you. And you're consistently on leadership and value-adding tips like that.
Wow. Thank you very much. In fact, what you just said now is the main thing that every leader needs to understand. Let me quote you. The moment you say it, then you have stopped leading. And I think that's a quote that everybody needs to actually tweet and make sure you had his name there. That's important. See, this is it. I personally always encourage leaders in that area, especially when it comes to, inspiration and helping people to create the culture that is needed in a team, in an organization. Many times, most leaders don't understand what you said about modeling. They just believe, okay, let me tell them what to do, without being the example of what you want them to become. Like the definition I said, leadership is the ability and the capacity to inspire people to do what they thought they couldn't do with a sense of purpose and vision. There is a purpose and there is a vision that drives you before people can commits to the vision. So it starts with you. And that's why I love the way Maxwell put it, that everything rises and falls on leadership. And that is
Absolutely.
correct. It's 100%.
Absolutely.
If everybody can understand that concept, like you said it, I mean, like you said it, modeling, I think our world will be a better place. And everybody can see that I have the ability to lead. Leadership is learnable, it's a learnable skill. Anybody can learn it. And I am a leader. I can become a better leader. So we can make our world a better place. So thank you so much. I think we should end with this last question. Um, I think it's important for us to talk about the benefits, because if we can understand all these principles and strategies and concepts that we're talking about here, what are the benefits of inspiration? What are the benefits of a leader being inspired in a team? It could be an organization, a community, a family, or a nation.
Uh, One of the greatest benefits of being an inspired leader is it fuels your creativity.
Hmm,
Uh, Many times those that get to know my age wonder, you can't be this old, right? But that is one of the benefits of being an inspired individual, because
hmm,
that inspiration constantly keeps you on your toes. It also helps your decision making as it is, because you are able to quickly dimension the problem and articulate the outcomes. This week, for example, we had a nasty incident in the office, and the security men were taken to the police station. And uh, towards close of business, I was told by the head of internal control that he's asked for them to be locked up till the next morning so that they can learn the lesson. And I'm like, no, I don't think that is fair. Yes, they've written their statement. We don't have any evidence that they are culpable. Please call the police station to have them released. Why let them spend the night in the police station? So that comes from an inspiration,
hmm.
an inspired kind of mindset that, look, I am in a position to let them stay there for 1 week, but for what purpose? As it is. It's not as if they are culpable, as it is. It also enhances your resilience. When you're an inspirational individual, uh, you can thrive in an environment like Nigeria, you know, without coming to consider a jackpot or kill yourself or your mental health. It helps you through those situations, right? It also improves your engagement with people. Now, if I'll close with this, the greatest test of an inspired leader or leadership that is effective in my world is not even when the person is leading. The
Hmm.
greatest test is what happens when the person has left that position. That is the real test of leadership. Finishing well, finishing well. And I'm already working towards that kind of transition. So, if what I have done and worked with my colleagues to build in 17, 18 years, how it thrives after I'm out of that system, that will be the proof of my effectiveness as an inspired leader. And four things are key to drive this for anyone listening that wants to be an inspired leader and achieve repeated successes, not working as a person, but inspiring people to join you in the vision on the journey, like I, with God's humility, has done for about 17 years now. One, you must be someone who is humble. Humility is
Hmm.
required. Two, you must be someone who is emotionally healthy. Three, you must be someone who learns to take feedback, and sometimes that feedback will be unpleasant. Four, you must be able to answer the question, what legacy am I going to leave when I leave here?
Hmm.
If you can achieve those four things, you would move to becoming an inspired leader. Be humble, be emotionally healthy, learn to take feedback, and four, please answer this question every day. What legacy am I going to leave behind when I leave this place?
Wow. 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 I hope someone got that. I hope someone got that. Wow, thank you very much, Mr. Olusoji. We really appreciate you, being here today. Thank you, sir. Um, you, you are an inspired leader, and we really appreciate you for what you're doing in our world, in communities, and businesses, and the lives of people. Nationally and globally. Um, Mr. Olusoji is a leading transformational leader, social entrepreneur, business coach, and trainer. And of course, he's also an author of several books. So we really want to appreciate you for being here today. But I would just I would just like to ask about your last statement. Okay, I mean, what would be your last word for people who are desiring to become sources of inspiration to others, and also for other leaders, the people who are leading today? Now, in quotes, I'm talking about people who have positions, because many times I've seen many people who are just wasting, positions. They are wasting space because they are position occupants without inspiring and building and multiplying leadership. So, what would be your last word for those two groups today?
Honestly, my last one will be those four things again.
Hmm.
Be humble, be emotionally healthy, learn to take feedback, particularly that.
Hmm.
Because there's something that happens as we grow in our leadership. We get to feel arrogant that how dare they question me
Hmm.
or suggest something to me. But the reality is no one person acting alone knows everything.
Hmm.
Right. So you must consistently submit yourself to feedback and to be mentored. And sometimes it could be a reverse mentor. It could be someone younger than you, it could be someone less educated than you, but there's something to be learned from everyone. And that's why the humility must be there. So if you're in a leadership position, whether business, community, politics, or family, please find who to submit yourself to guide you. I have coaches, I have mentors. One of my mentors, the renowned John C. Maxwell, he himself has mentors and coaches.
Mm-hmm.
His mentors and coaches have mentors and coaches. So it is foolish and silly to assume you have arrived because you are running a big business or driving a big car as it is. The moment you come to that state, you actually begin to descend.
Wow, wow. So this is where we're going to end today. Thank you so much, Mr. Olusoji. We really appreciate your time. We appreciate your knowledge, your
Thank you.
experiences, all the nuggets that
Thank
you
you.
have released today.
Thank you.
So for everyone that is watching us live on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and YouTube, yeah. If you have any questions, okay, you can just DM Mr. Olusoji. Definitely, it will be there for you to answer your questions. And next week, we're going to have another session here. Okay. So thank you so much, Mr. Lusoji. And that will be the end of our conversation today, the transformation table. Um, always remember, always remember those four nuggets, right? Always remember those four nuggets. And don't forget to put his name there. All right. That's very important. All right. Thank you, sir. So, for all our viewers that are watching us live, I want to say a very big thank you for being there today. Remember that you have the ability to lead. Remember that you have the ability to lead. All right. And if you're leading right now in an area of life, and that could be in your family, it could be you leading your business, or you leading a group of people, that could be in the church, that could be, anywhere in your community. Always remember that you have the ability to lead and also to become a better leader. Everyone, everyone, everyone. I always say that underline everyone has the ability to lead, ability to become a leader, an ability to inspire people to become better leaders. So you have a responsibility to lead, and you have a responsibility to help other people to lead. So go out there today, lead like never before, become everything that God has created you to be. All right, become everything. I always tell people four things. Think it. That's the first thing. Then number two thing is be it. You have to become it. All right. And then the third thing is do it. You have to do it. You have to take action. And the taking action requires being consistent. All right. Taking action every day and every day, because it's a daily thing. You don't become a leader in a day, you become daily. And then once you take action and you are consistent, then you can have it. Remember, think it, be it, do it, and have it. So before you can have it, you have to do it. Before you can start doing it consistently, you have to become it. And before you can become it, you have to think about it. So you have greatness on your inside. You can become a leader, and you can help others to become leaders as well. Go out there today and be your best. Have a wonderful weekend. All right. So next week, don't forget, same time, we're going to have another powerful guest here. You don't want to miss that. Okay. I remain my name, Wale Adekola. One thing I do every day is raising egos, and I will continue to do that until you succeed. Bye for now.